Hi, this is Firoze, CEO of Totem International Limited. We are a company engaged in providing safety security solutions, and we have recently launched a safety app for teenagers, working women, and travelers, which is almost like a virtual bodyguard. This has been done as a CSR initiative by Totem. We wanted to provide the citizens with an app which is flexible, user friendly, proactive, and we finally discussed a lot of models and we found the traffic light concept model to be most ideal, red, yellow, green, whereby people take decisions based on seeing the color which is in front of them. As we see with many women working and also spending time away from family or traveling across the city, either to a party or across the globe, even to make a sales presentation, we found that there's a need for an app which uses technology to identify risks, inform the user proactively, and provide methodologies to user to enhance his or her safety security. This could also be used as a tool to prevent road harassment and probably highlight to the police and such other organizations if they see it somewhere happening. We've also added things like siren sound, whistle, bright light. For convenience, of course, you've got to use it conservatively, otherwise the battery on your Android phones will go down. Now I'll again go back to the scenarios of the traffic light red, yellow, green, because we've done it with the view that flexibility is very important for the user. He or she has to determine what are the emergencies in which he has to respond and how he should respond. It should not be based just because the app is based that it should send SMS or share it on Facebook, so everything gets shared out. So privacy of the individual is most important, and that's why we have not even insisted upon either a Google or a Facebook registration to be able to use the app. If somebody does not want to use them, he may not use the same. So the most important thing, as I said, is the ability of the user to be able to configure the app so that he or she uses it as per his convenience and as per his requirements. Of course, when there is an emergency, then he should have configured the red button in such a way that it does help him and he is able to solve his problem. Yellow is basically an indicator that you are unsure, like you've gone on a date, or you are with a new cab driver on the night shift, or you're returning at some odd hour, something like that. So everything is so far so good, but you really don't know. Red is basically meaning that it's for SOS, emergency, absolutely right here and now. Green is that means the situation is fine, everything is okay, but you still want to see things like a particular police station phone number, or the distance of a particular police station from your given location, or even for a hospital location. We've also included things like top 10 safety tips, which we've tried to do it in almost 10 different languages, regional languages, so that people will be able to appreciate the aspects on it, because it's not just knowing judo, kung fu, and karate. In order to escape and from a situation, the most important thing is your own mind and your own presence of the and strength of the mind to be able to get away from a situation, because no amount of physical strength can be compared to the intellectual or ability to be able to take on the spot decision and take a practical decision which would be in the best of whoever is with you. We've also included things like self-defense videos just for sake of so that people could look at them and probably learn something. So as we say, in the red button, it basically dials 100 or 911 depending on the respective country. If it's been configured, we can transmit the GPS location. It takes photos and video and audio at regular intervals. We can share them to Facebook or to Google Plus or to any other media which you may prefer to share, either by email or SMS or MMS. In future, we'll be adding a lot of other features to determine when the red button should get activated. Things like shake feature, hold power down, maybe just a sign or a gesture, or even something like a voice activation. When a person speaks a particular code word, then the app comes on. Yellow is basically, that means the thing at that moment is particularly fine, but he still is not sure, and so he wants to sort of inform some of his friends that okay, he's traveling from so and so place, and it's probably night time, and so he should be there in 2 or 3 hours or whatever. Green is basically you can flow through the directory and the locations of various hospitals and police stations which is given. Now these have been taken primarily from Google Maps, so it's what is basically available in those maps. We've tried to couple it up with actual directory data from respective police departments and emergency related organizations. As we see, most important thing is to be able to understand that the safety security of a girl or a woman, whether it's a shopping plaza or a taxi or a mall or a friend's house, or simply shopping on the street, or even hiking on an adventurous trek, it presents a very complex risk analytics scenario, because it depends, the risk depends on a lot of factors. There are things like whether it's features or dressing or culture or confidence or poise, or just knowing the surrounding with how many people you are, what time of the day it is. So there's so many complex intrinsic and extrinsic factors coupled with time, place, geometrics. So with all these contributing factors, and then the person's internet habits, Facebook habits, Twitter habits, this psychosocial paradigm, we're trying to sort of bring it down to and configure it into the app so that it would be artificially intelligent, and it would be able to help the user in taking the right decisions, which would probably help him out in the long run. As you can see, all of us are human beings. We want to be trendy and cool, but we must understand that our actions are not isolated and they interact with others, which may lead us into a difficult situation. We are also looking at partnering with NGOs, lawyers, media companies, and man-guarding companies in course of time, so that maybe physical help can also be given in such sorts of situations. As you all know, with the changing times and the urbanization, and so the moral values, the norms, the changing metropolitan concept, it's all leading to a lot of issues, particularly for the females. And so there's things like workplace harassment during night shifts in the BPOs, and for the teenagers especially. I mean, there's things like teen dating, there's pubbing culture. All those things are coming up in the metropolitan cities. Now these all basically, though they are part of life, but still there are times when they put you into a difficult situation and you need help. So that's why we've done something like a virtual bodyguard. We look forward to probably add citizen volunteers for this project from diverse walks of life, but we've still not finalized it, because we've still not come up with a sort of formula as to how we would be able to vet the citizen volunteers, or we would be able to add them up with the various people who are linking on the app. But in course of time, we will probably be having something like that. We also plan to introduce a chat services message board on the app, so that you could probably get advice from anybody or everyone on this sort of situation. In order to promote this app, we are currently offering free complimentary counseling for the users of the app, and my best wishes for all of you to use the app. Thank you.